Here we go. Okay, so my name is Paige, and I have been chatting about making this video for quite some time because let me tell you, it's been a journey. And I was gonna wait until I have all the answers and I had a perfect filming setup, but I'm like, you know what? No, we're just gonna do this right now. Anyway, this video is about why I'm not vegan anymore. And I was vegan I started in like 2016. It's now 2024. So a while. And I wasn't perfect vegan. Like I would have pastries and, things like that here and there. But for the most part, I was never eating meat or dairy. Whatever. You get it. Why was I vegan? It felt empowering to have control over what I was eating, and it felt like I was doing good for the world. It felt like I was making a difference. There was a huge movement happening in the social media world, YouTubers, hardcore vegans, right? And I believed it was the way, the truth, the light. Like, I wasn't like pushy to people, but I was pretty convinced that this was it. And I felt pretty good at first. So nothing crazy great changed, but nothing bad happened. And then I started eating more whole foods, more plants, and obviously you're gonna feel good doing that. And I love animals so much. And so when I started to watch, all the documentaries, I felt super empowered to do my part to not contribute to cruelty and the horrific things animals go through. This is terrible, and I will never be cool with that. Also, I was under the impression that we just don't need to eat animals. Like in my mind, it was like, why would you? You don't have to, you can live without it. Which you can, people have. There's people that have been brought into this world vegan. I brought my son into this world vegan. I had a vegan pregnancy. He had been vegan for 3 years until my change now. Breastfed, everything, vegan. So I was in it and really believed that it was ethically the way, health reasons the way, and I felt good about it. Then I felt good until I didn't feel good. And what I want to preface this with is I do believe there are healing modalities within the vegan lifestyle that are miraculous. I know of places that put cancer patients on juice cleanses and only feed them the most organic, plant-based, nutrient-rich diets and have incredible healing results. So I think eating plant-focused is medicinal, is amazing for the body and a beautiful way to live, and harming as little living things as possible is ideal, and loving and respecting animals is ideal. And now that I'm stepping into eating everything again, which I was raised eating everything, I had a real emotional battle because I felt my body needing things that were not vegan, but I was so soulfully and like, that's how it felt, like committed to animal rights activism and not contributing to pain and suffering. And you've just seen enough of the horrible videos to just be so disgusted. And one of my best friends who was vegan for a long time too had this really beautiful kind of awakening she shared with me. I was like, how did you do it? Like, I know I need to make changes, but I'm so stuck in my head of like the ego stuff of losing the title to the club. Like, you're not a vegan anymore, which nobody cared. If they did, they haven't told me. But I thought I was going to have like protesters for some reason. That was worrisome, feeling like I'm letting down like an ethical value in my life of not standing for cruelty. And also just like it felt gross. Like I in my mind was just disgusted with meat. She shared with me that she, like, the first time she introduced meat back in, kind of had a moment of prayer of like, wow, I'm having all these deficiencies. I don't feel good. And I know intuitively and through blood work that I need something that only animals can give me. And looking at them as like a divine gift. And almost like praying over the meat, that it's like, thank you so much for giving my body something only you could provide. And it's this beautiful exchange. And that helped me to appreciate meat in a different way, that it's not this mindless thing. And truly, I went through a very similar thing, and I'm still unfolding it, but it's been 2 years. I won't get into every doctor's appointment, but there's been over 5 doctors in the past 2.5 years where I've been like, is it a thyroid problem? Is it a mineral deficiency? Is it a hormone imbalance? And I've been on thyroid medication that I no longer am on, switched off any birth control. I've been off birth control for years. Researched that, looked into any test you can think of: stool, urine, cheek swab, DNA, blood, food sensitivity. I've done it all. And finally, thank God, I found a functional doctor who was willing to just dive in with me and find the root cause. I was never looking for a quick fix, but I was doing all the things at home, and it was so frustrating to not feel well anymore, but be taking such good care of myself. Working out, 5 times a week, doing workouts I enjoy. I've been consistent with a meditation practice for years. I have a very supportive partner that lets, me be me and feel like I can access whatever I need to be my best self. So I feel supported. I have a great community. Like, no, my life's not perfect, but I do feel like I've created a life where I take really good care of myself. Drinking my water, doing my supplements, going to my doctor's appointments. Like, I felt like I'm doing all of it, but something's hitting a wall. And I was vegan at this time. So I start going to all these doctor's appointments thinking I have a thyroid problem. Why am I gaining weight? I've never had like a weight problem or like a food problem, thankfully. But all of a sudden it's like this hard bloat that was never going anywhere. This brain fog that is wild, this tiredness that I can't even describe properly. And I've had one doctor say, well, you're a mom now, it's that. I'm like, no, I know it's not that. And I get great sleep. And I wasn't even this tired when he was a newborn. So there's no way that is it. I knew that wasn't it. And some doctors, sadly, are not going to do the in-depth testing unless you request it, fight for it. And you have to know what you're requesting. Of course, some doctors will prescribe some medication or tell you to make lifestyle changes, which I was very aware of. Any lifestyle changes I could make, I was doing it. Besides the vegan thing, because that in my mind was like the healthiest. Like in my mind, I thought that was like the most optimal way to live, truly. And I want to make this video because I want someone out there to feel empowered and educated. Not that I'm a doctor or a nutritionist, but from my experience. When I was on YouTube, because I love YouTube, I would look up vegans and like get inspired by their recipes, how they're saying they felt. And it gave me a sense of empowerment and community. So I'm not here to bash that. I'm here to say there are ways to not get to this place I got to as a vegan if you're super educated and you're doing blood work and you are supplementing daily and continuing to check your blood work, because it is not salads and rainbows like I thought. So, I got to this point where I see that I have no amino acids. I am vitamin B deficient, like as low as low. Iron levels, crazy low. And finally, my functional medicine doctor was like, you know what? I don't know how you're like awake right now, or not like having crazy psychological stress, because when you have all these deficiencies, it affects everything. A lot of it hormonal in the brain, digestive, your immune system, literally everything. And I answered the call. My body was saying, eat meat. And I had my, probably 3 months of like internal battling with it. Like I mentioned earlier, all the things that were keeping me vegan. But at the end of the day, I knew that it was either two things. I would deal with these deficiencies by supplementing. I was doing IVs, like multiple IVs that are super expensive. Taking like 20 supplements a day, sometimes multiple times a day. Measuring food. Like you can get B12 and things like that from like fortified cereals and, nutritional yeast, but the amounts you would have to be eating and how much monitoring goes into that, I was just like, this is not how I want to live my life or spend my life. And then when I knew what I knew about deficiencies, I thought of my son. He eats what I give him. So I was like, wow, if I know this about me, this kid has been vegan his entire existence. I want him to be optimal as well. So I started introducing fish back in, red meats occasionally, a little bit of dairy, and I took food sensitivity. I have no intolerance, anything. There was no sickness after. It was emotional for me, but my body was singing after, like craving it. So I didn't go crazy. I still eat a lot of plant-based meals, cook a lot with like the same ingredients. I've just been a lot more mindful to increase my protein levels. And now I'm supplementing my amino acids with a powder. I'm about to do a whole nother round of IVs and doing all of this work, spending thousands of dollars, hopefully so you don't have to get my body back into this really healthy baseline where my lifestyle reflects in my body, where I work so hard at taking care of myself. And when you have everything you need internally, for me, amino acids, B12, vitamin D, vitamin C, and what was the other one? Iron. Then everything can work beautifully and your lifestyle reflects. But for me, I just want to be honest and say, if you are feeling depleted, tired, bloated, brain fog, fatigue, anxiety, maybe consider that veganism, as beautiful as it can be, might not be serving you anymore. And as a woman wanting to have another baby, needing these essential vitamins and minerals to sustain a life is so crucial. And, I will do anything to make sure I can be the healthiest I can be, and be so mindful now and grateful for sustainable farms and, paying a little more to know where your meat comes from and that it's local and how the animals are treated and all of that. Where honestly, before I would have argued with someone on that, and it's not easy. So I want to give grace to any vegans out there that feel conflicted, because it's still conflicting for me. But when you get to a health baseline that I was at, where the doctor is just saying, dude, come on, you're not good right now. And you could be good with literally just changing your food. If we don't change it now, is what I was told. If it's not attacked kind of aggressively now with IV supplements and lifestyle, this could become a big problem. Whether that be neurological. Okay, I got cut off. Jumping back in. If you are absolutely not open to changing your lifestyle out of veganism, there are ways to supplement, like I've mentioned, and achieve good levels where you're feeling really amazing and still eating a vegan lifestyle. I tried it and it just felt like there was an easier way, and there was a way that was more sustainable for me. And just listening to your body is really, it sounds kind of cliche, but it just resonated and I knew I needed it. And who knows, maybe I'll get to a place where I'm vegan again, but this feels right now. And I want to remove the shame and stigma around these food labels, these lifestyle labels, because they're all with good intention and they can serve us in different chapters of our lives. We don't have to be married to them. And, I think that there's beauty in changing your mind and listening to yourself. So to be continued, my journey will continue because this is pretty fresh information for me. My last doctor call was yesterday, and I will be starting more IV treatments, and supplements are coming in the mail. I'm going to be doing amino acid powders for like 3-4 months, and I will report back. I feel very excited to finally have answers, and hopefully this video finds anyone who's been vegan and hits a wall and is just like, WTF is going on with my body? Feeling so tired, whatever the symptoms manifest as. For me, it was the bloating, the brain fog, the tired, and anxiety spikes as well, I would say. And now I just feel so relieved to know that nothing's wrong with me. I don't have a mental disorder. I don't have, all these like non-fixable problems. They're very treatable. And if you just take care of yourself in the ways that your body needs you to, you can live a very healthy life if there's not other, underlying factors, of course. And the only way to know this is to do extensive blood work and if you can arrange to save up, this is the best investment of a lifetime, to know your body, your genetics. You can do genetic testing. You can know what you're predispositioned to. And that is so empowering to, if it's once a year, you get an extensive blood work panel to look at all of the levels of the minerals. And it's very in-depth. Again, not a doctor, but I went over an 8-page document yesterday with my doctor and was just fascinated, like what you can see in this extensive blood work. And a lot of doctors will not do this in-depth of blood work if they are not a functional doctor, a naturopath, or maybe some general doctors will do this extensive work. I had a very hard time getting any of my general practitioners to do this in-depth of testing. It was kind of like, well, try not to stress so much, or like, these answers where I was like, that's not it. Anyway, so this is your encouraging reminder to do blood work, to listen to your body, and check on your amino acid levels, your vitamin B12 levels. If you are vegan, most likely they're low. It's not impossible to get it from other things, but the easiest source is animal products. So I hope this is inspiring. I hope that you feel your best. And I'm so excited at 31. I can just feel it. I'm on the road to feeling my best ever. And that's what I want. I'm a mom. I want to be active and awake and not dragging, so exhausted. I'm not exhausted because I'm a mom. I'm exhausted because I don't have what my body needs right now. And I'm so excited to feel the best ever and come back and make another video and just be so proud of that and inspire anyone that it's okay. Here's your permission slip that no one's going to judge you. And if they judge you, bye-bye. Like, you do what's best for you. You will be the most optimal version of yourself if you let go of what your ego wants to claim as a title, or, you know, thinking that you're going to be ridiculed. If someone takes the time out of their day to ridicule you on what kind of food you eat, that's ridiculous. And hopefully you are more empowered to follow how you can live your best and share your gifts with the world and be the best version of you for your partners, friends, business, yourself, if you're a parent especially, so you can live a long, vibrant life with your family. And the only way to do that is if you have energy and vitality. Okay, I could ramble forever. I'm very passionate about this, but anyway, if you guys want to chat, I would love to share more about this experience and certain tests that I asked for, doctor referrals, anything. All the doctors that I have had the most success with have been virtual, where they send the testing to your house and you do lab work and send it in. So you could see my doctors if you live anywhere. I'm happy to send referrals. And also getting into another part of this would be the psychological healing I'm also doing around my healing journey. So if you guys are interested in that, please send me a message. Please send this to anybody who you know is vegan and might not be thriving anymore. This is not to shame anyone for the way they eat. This is to empower people to feel really good. So anyway, take care and reach out if you want to chat. Mwah.